Greetings, fiends. It's your old pal Horror Mike. Welcome to the condensed version of last Friday night's show. And just to let you know, one of the movies in here is a fake. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Fear No Evil from 1981. This is the Shout Factory release. As it says, a high school student who turns out to be the personification of Lucifer faces off against two archangels in the form of a teen girl and an old woman. Directed by Frank LaLoggia. This is kind of a strange one because typically with 1970s and 80s exploitation films, the exploitation is typically geared towards TNA. Most of the nudity on screen is actually that of men. Yes, there's even a couple of men fighting in a shower scene. So not quite sure where they were going with this one. And the lead actor who plays the personification of Lucifer, Stefan Arngrim, seems like quite a fabulous old scratch, if you know what I mean. Fear No Evil does have some great production values. There are some really good scenes in it. It kind of lags in parts, but overall, it's fairly entertaining. Check out this trailer for Fear No Evil.
Alexandria High School, class of 81. All the students are going to hell, except for Andrew. He sent them there. Fear no evil. It'll scare the devil out of you.
Next up, it's Paganini Horror. Yes, a film by Luigi Cozzi, one of my favorite Italian directors. As you may recall, Luigi Cozzi also directed that fine late 70s sci-fi flick, Stella Star Crash, starring the incredible Carolyn Monroe. Oh, yes. Paganini Horror, 1989. Life truly goes to bloody hell when a sexy all-girl band records a rare song by a composer who happens to be Paganini, who was rumored to have sold his very soul to the devil. Now, this film stars Donald Pleasance. He's not in it a lot, but he is in the film, and Daria Nicolodi, who, of course, was the one-time wife of Dario Argento. And as I said before, directed by Luigi Cozzi. This thing delivers the goods, folks. It's got incredibly hot Italian babes. That's one big plus. It's got 1980s style Italian pop music, which you can take it or leave it but. The thing is that it's sung by really hot Italian babes. And there are some fairly decent scenes of gore. There's some novel killing devices, such as a switchblade violin, which I found rather entertaining. All in all, definitely a film that is worth seeing. It is, of course, on Tubi for free. And naturally, I have a trailer for Paganini Horror.
Today in this house, a contract has been stipulated between Niccolò Paganini and the devil, wherein the musician is granted eternal fame in exchange for his soul. Signed, Paganini and C.
Go ahead, open it.
Hey, Daniel. How come you came back up?
I am not Daniel. And now you will pay. And you will pay in the only coin I ever accept.
But how can we stop a monster that isn't even part of this world?
Next up, a 1970s film that you probably never heard of, Endzone 2. Endzone 2, 1970. And keep that in mind, folks. 15 years after the original lost film, the vengeful Smash Mouth returns, targeting the cheerleaders who wronged him. The thing is, folks, is that this film is fake. Yeah, it was not made in 1970. It was probably made in 2021, 2022. They put filters on the video to make it look scratched and kind of vaguely like film. It obviously isn't. So right off the bat, it didn't fool Horror Mike. I've shot quite a few films on film, so I know exactly what film looks like, and this don't look like film. That being said, there are some rather amusing scenes in Endzone 2, and I do like the old school maniacal football player killer, Smash Mouth. There are some really funny sequences in Endzone 2, but there's just a lot of scenes that they're really trying to make it seem like it was filmed in the early 1970s, and it just doesn't work, folks. Flat out. You can watch it, see for yourself, and check out this trailer.
In 1955, the George Donner High School football team lost the big game. They beat freshman Jimmy Smazmov until he was hardly recognizable.
You people broke his goddamn jaw! Can't even eat like a regular person!
But Jimmy recovered. Jimmy Smazmov became Smash Mouth and got his revenge.
Did they ever find Jimmy?
Who, Smash Mouth? He died in the fire.
I heard they never found his body.
What in tarnation?
You guys remember AJ? Him and Jimmy were always hanging out together, right?
Jimmy was like my brother. I kept him safe.
Smash Mouth is back.
Do you still have a thing for him?
Jimmy, it's me. It's me, Nancy.
This time, the cheerleaders who stopped him
I still remember the knife going into her.
will face their greatest fears. Don't open your mouth. Endzone 2, get smashed.
Next up, another strange one. Sweet Kill. He loved the girls to death. Sweet Kill from 1973. Horror and suspense in the story of a psychotic maniac who literally loves women to death. Now, it's kind of funny because Tab Hunter, who is the star of the film, and the psychotic maniac who literally loves women to death, was in reality gay. So when you're watching this film, if you know that Tab Hunter was gay, it's kind of weird watching this film where he's killing off these women, and the way that he interacts with the women, it's just strange and a little bit queasy. So this is one of those really low budget psycho killer flicks that you might want to check out if you got a spare 80 minutes someday. The rats are coming, the werewolves are here, the rats are coming, the werewolves are here. Yes, folks, it is The Rats Are Coming, the werewolves are here. Check out that poster. Check out those rats, man. Their eyes, their bulging red eyes. From 1972, this UK film tells the story of a British family of werewolf that sees their bond starting to come apart at the seams when one of the clan suggests they change their entrail-eating ways. Directed by Andy Milligan, this one is, boy, is it bottom of the barrel, low budget. I'm telling you. Now, look, I don't have a problem with bottom of the barrel, low budget, folks. I make bottom of the barrel, low budget, actually no budget films. So when a no budget movie is good, I'm the first one that's standing up and cheering for the damn thing. This one is not so good, okay? The title is the best thing about this film, and the poster with the rats with the bulging red eyes. That being said, I do have a trailer for The Rats Are Coming, the werewolves are here.
Rats. I'd like some rats.
Take someone you can hold tight. The rats are coming.
Remarkable creatures, rats. They can be very friendly if they want to be. On the other hand, they can be very destructive if they get mad.
Monica was the strangest and meanest of all. No one, man, woman, or beast, was safe when the rat girl was aroused.
They haven't eaten yet, you know.
What are you talking about?
The rats. They haven't eaten since I bought them from them. And I should think that they would be very hungry by now. They eat almost anything. Listen to Papa.
Next up, it's Savage Abduction. Now check out the poster for that. That is some fine key art right there, folks. Savage Abduction. Unfortunately, it is the best part about this film. It doesn't deliver on the goods that well. I tell you the truth. I mean, there's very little, if any, TNA. It's slow, it's rather plodding. Let's take a closer look. From 1973, a psychopath murders a man's wife and then coerces him into supplying innocent victims. Under pressure, the man enlists a biker gang to help. This film, directed by John Lawrence, it's not very compelling at all. It doesn't really deliver on any Grindhouse exploitation level. Kind of a dud. But man, that poster is nice. Moving on, we have some redemption with Igor and the Lunatics. This is one batshit crazy film, folks. Igor and the Lunatics. Love the poster. That's just insane. Igor and the Lunatics, 1985. After 16 years in prison, Igor and his infamous gang are out and hell-bent on taking revenge on the small town that sent them up. Directed by W.J. Parolini. Now, folks, this film has got a lot going for it in all of the Grindhouse areas. It checks all the boxes. Okay, you got fabulous TNA going on, some fairly good gore, Grindhouse sleaziness. There are some very funny sequences in it. It's just a really good, very low budget 1980s exploitation film. Next up, it's Mark of the Witch. Now, it's another poster that I like. It's very interesting looking poster, as you can see. I think it does the trick, right? The middle character, the one that's pointing, reminds me a lot of Barbara Steele. Mark of the Witch, 1970. A college town is terrorized by a 300-year-old witch who has returned with a vengeance on a descendant of the man who sent her to the gallows. Directed by Tom Moore. I remember seeing this years ago, perhaps even a few decades ago, and I thought it was much better at the time, folks. It didn't really hold up that well. I found it rather pedestrian on this latest go-around. Doesn't do much for me. You might find it entertaining. I thought it was flat. And to round off the selection, we have Effects. Effects from 1979. As it says, while shooting a low-budget horror movie in the woods, a film crew starts suspecting that the staged killings for the camera may be very real. Now, this film stars Joseph Pilato, Susan Chapek, John Harrison, Deborah Gordon, and Tom Savini, who is not listed here, directed by Dusty Nelson. I have a trailer for it, but I can't show you the trailer. If you're interested in seeing a trailer for this film, just go to YouTube and watch it. Friday night after the show, I checked my video out, the pre-recorded video, and I promptly got a copyright warning for the soundtrack for Effects, believe it or not, on the freaking trailer. Yes, it's a trailer, and they actually gave me a warning. They demonetized the video. So I can't show you the video because it's just going to get demonetized again. Well, that wraps up our look at last Friday's films in this condensed version of the Horror Mike Show. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.